Breathe, damn you. Come on, cowboy. I'm here. I'm waiting. You can do this. Lucky! Doctor! Doctor, get in here! He's breathing! Get that tube out of him! He's breathing!
Luke, what is it? I heard you yelling. What's wrong?
It worked. Like he's breathing.
What? Are you sure?
The doctor, look, the doctor's taking the tube out of his throat. He doesn't need it.
Oh, my God. Thank God you were right. Is he awake?
No, I don't think so, but he's definitely breathing on his own, and that's the first step. Skye, I knew this was going to work. I knew it. I knew if we gave him a chance, he could do it. So I unplugged the machines, and he did. His instincts kicked in, and he started to breathe. You know what that means? That means he's on his way back to me. He's going to live.
This is a good sign, right? This means that Lucky's coming out of the coma.
He's still unresponsive.
Yeah, but he's getting better. What I'm saying is, a week ago, he wouldn't have been able to survive without that ventilator.
See, Lucky's body being on the ventilator gave it a chance to recover. But I'm afraid that he's still in a very deep coma. And I'm sorry to say that he'll probably stay that way. I'm sorry, I wish I could tell you something more positive.
No. Doctor, you don't know my son like I do. He's on his way back. He's going to be okay.
I hope so. In any case, if you need me, I'll be around.
You know, doctors, they always have to err on the side of caution when they're not sure. But Luke, you're right. This is amazing progress.
I know. You know, I've read some medical journals while I've been sitting here these last few nights. Did you know that it's possible for people to live in a comatose state for over 20 years? Unresponsive, slowly curling into a fetal position as their muscles atrophy, taking their meals and their air through a tube. Imagine that, 20 years trapped in a useless body with no way out. That's not going to happen to him. That won't happen to him. It can't.
Luke, you were so right about taking Lucky off those machines. Absolutely, 100% right, and I'm so sorry that I fought you on that.
Listen, sweetheart, you were doing what you thought was right. You were following your conscience. It turned out okay anyway. But if Dr. Weber is any indication, it looks like the doctors are still going to think he's a hopeless case.
He is not hopeless.
I can't tell you how good it is to finally agree with you on something. I know he's not hopeless. He's breathing on his own. That's the first step. He's coming back to me. I know he is. I know it.
Because you gave him that chance.
You know, I never wanted to be a father. It only happened because Laura needed it so badly. I can't say it's been the happiest of experiences. In fact, the last 8 or 10 years, I've pretty bitterly regretted it. But right now, looking at him, breathing on his own, knowing he's coming back, I'm so proud. It's the only thing that matters to me right now. Him, my son.
Why don't you go home and get some rest? I'll stay with him.
Thanks, but no, I want to stay a little longer. Just in case he wakes up. I want to be here.
My God. Can't believe I'm actually standing here listening to Luke Spencer, world-class cynic, spinning best case scenarios. Next thing you know, you're going to be believing in miracles.
Hey, careful now. Don't talk nonsense. This was sheer logic. There was no miracle here. This was deductive thinking. By the doctors and the judge who allowed me to turn off the breathing machine and his mean old heartless father. No, there was no divine intervention. There were no faith-moving mountains. This was sheer courage on Lucky's part, and his will to live, his instincts for survival. I have never loved him more.
You keep telling him that. That's exactly what he needs to hear.
Oh, you did it, cowboy. You found the trail and you're on your way back. Come on now, come all the way back. Open your eyes. Let me tell you how proud I am that you are my son. And then in Dublin, your mother put together that incredible birthday party for you, where she found all those little people and talked them into putting on those leprechaun costumes. Remember? Do you remember that? She made that enormous rainbow out of the colored balloons and put your gifts in a big old stew pot that she painted gold. And the musicians came down from the pub and sang sea shanties. It was great. We were happy in Ireland. You loved the Emerald Isle, remember? So many good memories, cowboy. A lifetime ago. Just find those memories and hang on to them. Follow them back. They'll bring you home. You're breathing on your own now. But you've got to make it the rest of the way back.
He will. You have to believe that. Have you thought about what you're gonna do next? If there's no improvement, you might have to give some thought about moving Lucky into a care facility at some point.
No. No way. No way. He's on his way back. He's gonna make it all the way. He's not going to any care facility, ever. I'd pull all the other plugs before I let that happen. And you and nobody else is gonna convince me otherwise, Skye. I'm sorry. I guess I'm a little punchy.
Luke, you've been here all night. Please, why don't you go home and get some rest? I'll sit with him for a while.
No. No, darling, I don't want to leave. Not yet. What do you want?
Nothing. I was just gonna ask if Lucky's okay. See if you need anything.
Sorry, young Spielberg. I'm a little edgy. I already got Skye hovering over me. Thanks anyway, but I don't need you to.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
There is something you can do.
Yeah, name it.
Tell me something honestly. If you were in this bed, comatose, and the doctor said you were likely to remain that way, what would you want your father to do? Would you want him to sit here and wait for you to wake up, or just sit here until you slip away forever? Would you want him to put you in a care facility? Would you want him to petition the court to take out your feeding tube so that you starve to death? What?
Wow. I can't answer that question because I don't have a father. I mean, biologically I do, yeah, but you know, he split and left me with my mom before I was like 1. He went off to start a new family. Never met him, never heard from him. And somehow I doubt that if I fell into a coma tomorrow, he'd care. But if I had a father like you, who loved me and cared for me no matter what, even when we were fighting, if I had a father whose heart was breaking at the sight of me, I think I'd want him to be okay. I'm just saying it. If he wanted to leave me in a ward somewhere, I would understand that. And if he wanted to let me die, I think I would understand that too. But the one thing I would not want is for him to spend his life trying to care for me. I would not want him sitting in a hospital week after week, month after month. I'd want him to live for the both of us. That's what I think.
Lulu wants to go ice fishing. It'd be so great if you came back before the spring thaw. I mean, I could take her, but it wouldn't mean as much to either one of us. And she'd ask a lot of questions that I can't answer. Like, what happened to you, and when are you gonna wake up? What should I tell her, cowboy? Should I tell her what I believe? That you're breathing now, and that means you're on your way back, you're gonna make it all the way home? Or should I tell her what I'm most terrified of? That this is all there'll ever be. Breathing.
How's he doing?
No change.
Hey, Lucky. Skye. Breathing on your own now. It's pretty remarkable progress. You keep trying, okay? There's so many people here waiting for you to come back. Including your father. You know, he's barely left your side. In fact, I am here to volunteer to sit with you a while so he can take a break.
I'm okay, Blaze. Why don't you go over to the Haunted Star? See if that ship's been stolen yet. Maybe you could check the books and see just exactly how badly I'm being ripped off.
Should I be offended? It seems like you're determined to get rid of me.
No. Never, never.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I will go make sure the Haunted Star is still in the harbor. I will even go over the books to make sure we have enough operating capital to be in business. But when I get back in a couple of hours, I want you to take a break, even if I have to wrestle you out that door, okay?
Okay, that sounds like a deal. Wrestle me out the door. cowboy, what do you think of your new room? I know it ain't the Ritz, but, well, at least you got a little privacy here. People can't just wander down the hall and stare through the window at you like an exhibit in a museum. It's an incredibly positive step to be moved out of the ICU. It means that the doctors are confident that you can survive on your own, just like I've been saying. I've never been so happy to be right about anything in my life. I gotta tell you, son, these friends of yours who stood against me on this, they were all dead wrong. They all think they know you so well, but they don't. It's either that or they're so afraid of death themselves that they can't allow anybody to live in a world without their particular brand of make-believe. See, the mistake they make is they think you're just like them, and you're not. You're a hell of a lot more like me than they want to, or maybe even you want to admit. Now, look, I know it's none of my business. If you choose to be friends with people who don't appreciate your full potential, people who consider their own limited points of view more important than anything else in the world, look, it's none of my business, but these last hours together, they've made me realize I wouldn't mind hanging out with you myself every now and then. Just you and me. Maybe we could even recover some common ground. Some ground.
Luke, is everything okay?
Yeah, we're just getting used to his new room. What's up? Why'd you come back so soon?
Well, I was on my way out, but there was this huge commotion on the first floor. You know, police officers running around, and turns out Faith Roscoe's in the building. She's armed and dangerous, and, well, I thought you should know.
Faith has no reason to come in here. I doubt she even knows Lucky's in the hospital.
I'm sure you're right. She's probably just here after Justice, who happened to be across the hall.
Yeah, he was across the hall in ICU. I know.
Well, Sonny had asked Justice to bring the ransom money to Faith, and, well, Faith shot him. So much for Justice being the love of Faith's life. And, well, it occurred to me that if Faith does figure out we're in the hospital, she might come to us for help since we have helped her in the past. So I'm just curious, what is her policy about Faith Roscoe these days?
Blaze, my kid's here in a coma. The last thing I care about is Faith Roscoe.
Yes, well, ordinarily I would agree. But unfortunately, she has kidnapped Christina Davis, a little girl that I dearly love. And she also has Michael and Morgan Corinthos, who happen to be your nephews.
Yeah. So what do you want me to do about it?
Oh, nothing, Luke. We've done our part. Months ago, when we helped Faith escape from Pentonville.
I don't like where you're going with this.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere, am I? No. I'm here safe and sound in a room with you and your son, who, though admittedly is terribly injured, isn't a 2.5-year-old little girl in the hands of a psycho kidnapper.
You are not responsible for anything Faith Roscoe has done.
We helped cut her loose.
We cut a deal. $1 million and a ride to the airport. So she'd give us a false confession, and we get your freedom. Now, what she did after she hit the airport is not our problem.
Oh, no. No, it's Christina's problem, and Michael, and Morgan's, and their parents, and their families. Oh, Luke, I gotta tell you, when I heard the news last night, it almost made me sick on the spot. But I didn't tell you because, well, you know, I started to rationalize. I thought, okay, Faith is bound to get caught, and those children will be fine. They'll be returned home safely, but what if I'm wrong?
Stop it. Just stop it. Faith's got a grudge against Corinthos. That's not your problem. We're not responsible for this. You're not entitled to guilt you didn't earn.